Alright, I want to introduce the new dice to you. Let's start with the giant dungeon die. Each side of the dungeon die depicts a dungeon and the special effects that it grants. This is an effect that each monster in that dungeon will gain. In this case, the ice cavern, every monster has the ice ability. And each monster also gives an additional potion. This is the reward. The one in the middle is a bonus. If you're equipped with a hammer, you're able to chisel a one-use die out of the ice. There's a few times that you get to roll the dungeon die. At the beginning of the game, you get to roll it once, and this is where all adventurers start. Every time you get a fame, the player who gets the fame has the option of rolling the die again. If you lose a fight, you have the option of rolling the die again to try to get to a new dungeon. Here we have traps and shrines. Traps have a new rule that if you draw a trap, it affects you for the entire round, but you draw another die, so you'll still get a fight. In this case, you may be poisoned during the fight, or you may fall asleep the next round. The shrines have the opposite effect. They give you some sort of bonus for the entire round, and then you go on to your fight. So you may heal up before a fight, or gain a blessing for your next fight. We have a lot of new one-use dice. Let's start with the torch. This affects the dungeon die. It lets you go to any one side you want. So let's say you have 4 treasure, and normally those can't be traded for an artifact, but in the bazaar they can. Once you get an extra fame, you're able to re-roll the dungeon die. So let's say you use your torch, come here, buy a new artifact, and then roll it before anyone else gets to use the bazaar. The wand lets you use any spell depicted on the die. And if you spend 1 experience point, you get to keep the wand rather than returning it to the bag. Often this means the difference between winning a fight, so it's a fair trade. 1 experience for getting 1 experience back, and then the treasure, possible fame, and other things. These purple dice are relics. They're the same size as the one-use dice, and they go in the same bag. However, they grant a permanent passive bonus. In this case, the focus ring is the same as the monk ability, which gives you 1 extra level permanently. Axe Mastery gives you +1 to axes. This also affects the execution ability. If you roll a 3, you could execute a level 4 monster.